YouTube, how's it going? Welcome back to Paul's Wrath. My name is JD, and today we're continuing with our playthrough of Pokémon Crystal in order the Pokédex by playing through the next Pokémon. A very good Pokémon. I watched a couple of playthroughs from some other YouTubers. This Pokémon does very well. It's got some upsides, some downsides, just like every Pokémon. But that Pokémon is Teddiursa. Teddiursa will evolve into Ursaring later in this game. Let's review the stats really quick, and we'll dive into this playthrough. HP is 60, attack is 80, defense is 50, special attack and special defense are both 50, and speed is 40. Speed being 40, it's its lowest stat, so it's its biggest hindrance. I don't really feel like in this playthrough it was a big hindrance, though, just on my personal vibe. And attack being 80 is amazing, and I'll explain why that's amazing for a normal type Pokemon to start this game. Without further ado, let's dive into the playthrough. First Pokemon we're going to face is our rival's Pokemon Chikorita. Our rival's name is triple question mark, as per tradition. And Chikorita, there really isn't a great option for our rival to have a Pokemon. When it comes to normal types, we're going to have moves that counter all of them. Chikorita is the most bulky, so that's why I chose it. Scratch looks like it's going to be about a 4-shot. And we get the knockout. We named our Pokemon Teddy, by the way, just from the show Ted. If you haven't watched, I recommend you go watch. It's pretty funny. But anyway, we're going to move on and we're going to do some training. We'll talk about this Pokemon. First thing, this Pokemon is a normal type. Normal type Pokemon have a really big advantage in most games because they're very versatile. They can get moves that are water type, they're electric type, so on and so forth. Across the board, there's a lot of versatility when it comes to normal type Pokemon. Second thing about normal type, we are weak to fighting Pokemon, and we cannot hit ghost Pokemon with normal type moves. Not really the biggest issue, but it's something you have to contend with in this game because there is a whole gym dedicated to it, and there's a whole Elite Four member that is dedicated to the fighting type, which dictates, it also actually changes some ways we set up this game. We went with Hidden Power Flying in this game, and we didn't actually need it, and I'll explain why here in a little bit. And we're also in the medium fast growth rate, which is, I think, is the second best growth rate for a playthrough. That means we'll get levels pretty well throughout the course of the game. We're not going to have a hindrance or a part of the game where I think we're under-leveled. It actually isn't the case with Generation 2. I think in Generation 2, you're just always over-leveled. And we're about to go ahead and face Falkner's Gym. Now, here's the big deal about Falkner when it comes to normal-type Pokemon, especially normal-type Pokemon with the stats the way Teddiursa's is. So we have a high attacking stat. When we beat Falkner, Falkner gives a 12.5% boost to our attack stat, which means all of our physical moves will be more powerful after we beat Falkner, which is good, because that means a lot of our moves that we already have are physical. We have Scratch and Lick. Both of them are physical attacking moves. Eventually, we're going to add Mud Slap. We're going to add a move called Swift, and so on and so forth throughout the course of the game. So automatically we get a huge advantage. And in the third gym, we get a boost on our normal type moves by having a 10% boost to all normal type moves. So that's going to be another thing. So we're beating this Bird Keeper here, and now we're going to face Falkner. And I have a graphic that I have come up here. I used to use these all the time, but no one ever seemed to pay attention or care about them. But I'm throwing them back in because it takes a couple seconds to do while I'm editing. And we're going to go ahead and take on Falkner. Pidgey's a 2-shot, very good. And Pidgeotto comes out. And he can't really do that much damage to us. He really should be going for Mud Slap to lower accuracy, but strategy is not really the best with Falkner, I guess. So we knock him out. We get the win over Falkner. We actually add Mud Slap as a TM, and we're going to add one more TM here, and that is Swift. Swift is a 60 base power move, but right now we are stabbed, so it's 90. And we backtrack and grab the thing called the Pink Bow. If you don't know what the Pink Bow is, it gives a 10% boost to all normal type moves. That is why in the top left corner you see an effective power of a move. Its Swift is at 99. The 99 is it's very good. That's a very powerful move to have this early in the game. And like I said, it goes off for physical attack stat, which makes this move even better. So as we progress, we're going to take on these bug catchers in here. They're not really a problem, I don't think. I don't think any bug in here really is a problem. I don't even think we have problems with the Scyther, to be honest with you. So we're going to one-shot the Weedle and the Kakuna. I don't know if Beedrill is a one-shot. Beedrill might be a one-shot. It might be just because it's lower level. What level is Beedrill? It's 12. Yeah, it's a one-shot. Okay. So now we're going to move on to Bugsy. He is the second gym leader as a bug specialist, and he leads out with a Metapod. Now, Metapod and Kakuna are both bulky. That is why we do not get the one-shot here. However, we get a 2-shot on the Metapod. It does 3 damage to us, a whole whopping 3 damage. We survive, and we're going to move right on to Kakuna. It ups its defense, doesn't do anything really to us. We level up, and now we face Scyther. Scyther will be a 2-shot. We get a critical hit with a Swift on the first attempt, and in the second attempt, we knock it out. Pretty easy win over Bugsy. Super easy, barely an inconvenience. So we're going to leave here. I don't think we actually needed to go heal, but we're going to heal just to be safe. So run in here, get a quick heal, and we don't save. I mean, that's how confident we are in this battle, so I don't know why I went and healed. But we go ahead and face our second rival battle. Second rival is going to come out with a Ghastly. It's usually the most difficult for most Pokemon because they don't always have a move to take on Ghastly. However, we have Mud Slap. Now, it can't do anything to us other than put us to sleep and use Spite. Lick does 0 damage. It's ineffective against us because it's Ghost type and we're normal. Mud Slap's a 2-shot, knocks out the Ghastly. Zubat comes out. Swift is a 1-shot on the Zubat. And then Bayleaf comes out. Now, Bayleaf, like I said, is very bulky. And it goes for Growl, so it lowered our attack stat. And he gets a crit. So if you maybe crit one more time, you could have knocked this out maybe there. That's why this battle is so scary. But we move on to the forest. We're going to pick up Super Potion here. And we're going to pick up a move that is very good for this Pokemon. That is Headbutt. Headbutt is effectively more powerful on a normal type Pokemon than Return is on any other type. It is very powerful. It's a 70 base power move with Stab. It makes it, make it 105 and then a 10% boost from the Pink Bow. It just makes it power as 115 right now. So Headbutt, it's going to it's not going to one-shot the Snubble. Snubble, blah, 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 blah. And we'll move right on and face Whitney. I'd take no trainers on in here if I could, because all the trainers in here are garbage. Not great experience yields. It doesn't do anything. So Clefairy comes out, and Clefairy is actually no longer a normal type. It's actually Fairy type now. But we're going to go for Headbutt. Now, this is bad, because if Miltank would have been smart and just kept going for Stomp, probably would have beat us. But we outpace it. We do a little bit more damage than they do. We beat Whitney, and we get the boost to all of our normal moves. So now, look at our Headbutt. Headbutt gets a 10% boost in the damage output. Now it's up to 129 as the damage output. Now we're facing the Rock Tree Thing Sudowoodo. Rock Tree Thing Sudowoodo is going to come out. And we don't have a great move really for it. Headbutt is the best thing because it can make it flinch. I thought maybe Feint Attack would do more because it is a special move, but it's not. So we'll go for Headbutt, get the knockout over Sudowoodo, and we progress right on to the Lake of Rage, where we're going to go ahead and pick up Hidden Power Flying. Like I said, Hidden Power Flying, hindsight's 2020. We don't really need to use Hidden Power Flying with this Pokemon. I'll explain why here in a little bit. Right now, we're about to take on the Komodo Girls, and this is the time in every video, like I ask everyone, please make sure you do some things that really help out the channel. First off, if you can like this video, it takes 2 seconds to do it, really appreciate it. Gets it out to more people, gets the algorithm going. And if you comment on this video, it's like taking a like and using Swords Dance and like, upping it by 2 stages every time you do it. Comments really get it out to more people, gets the algorithm going as well. We're getting a lot of good viewership, but likes and comments are going to be the things that really push the videos and the channel over the edge. And then the next thing is, please make sure you watch to the end. If you watch all the way in, you watch all the way through, it helps out more and generates like more interest for other people as well. And the final thing is, please make sure you subscribe to this channel. We got a lot of subscribers that have been coming in over the last month or so. We're at 691. I know it doesn't sound like a lot to a lot of people, but in the fact, I think at the beginning of this year, we had about 500, and now we're up to 691. A lot of growth, and we're inching towards the goal I want to get to. I want to get to 1,000 for the end of 2026. Let's go ahead and take on our next rival. Rival's going to come out with a Haunter. Haunter can't do anything to us other than curse us or look at us meanly or spite us. It can't lick us or anything like that. So we knock it out. Now we're taking on Magnemite. Magnemite is going to go down to 1 Mud Slap. Very good. Headbutt on the Zubat. We could go for Headbutt or Hidden Power. And I want to pause this for 1 second. So right now, Hidden Power is more effective against grass types, which also means it'd be more effective against fighting types. Because Headbutt is only effectively 129 effective power. It is going off a physical attack stat. And then Hidden Power Flying is Stab. And it's not Stab, but it's actually a double effective because Bayleaf is weak to it. So that move is 157 effective power. So right now, Hidden Power Flying would be the better move to do in this battle. And if we're facing someone fighting type, it'd be the best move to use in that battle. I'll circle back to why I'm mentioning that here in a minute. But we're going to fall through the floor and fall right in front of these guys here. Now, I don't usually show these trainers, but we will show this trainer for one very good reason. That is because we are about to level up. And when we level up to level 30, Teddiursa goes from this little tiny teddy bear to this big, mauling, amazing, out of this world like Pokemon that is known as Ursaring. Ursaring is known as the hibernation Pokemon. I don't know why he's not called the big bear Pokemon. I mean, Teddiursa is the little bear Pokemon, but I digress. And there he is. And we're going to pause it real quick and we'll review his stats. Look how the stats jumped up just from evolving. Now we're going to look at these stats really quick. So HP is 90 with Ursaring, attack is 130, defense is 75, special attack 75, special defense 75, and speed is 55. Speed's still not great, but with this Pokemon, like I said, I think we're pacing pretty well. I don't think speed really, to me, feels like a hindrance at all with this Pokemon, but the stats of this Pokemon are just absolutely amazing. And yeah, now we're just way more powerful, way more effective against all the Pokemon and the trainers that we're facing. So we're going to save right here. We're going to take on Morty. He is the Ghost Specialist. I guess he's also a Poison Specialist because all of his Pokemon are Ghost Poison. And we're going to take him on. Ghastly is going to go down to either Feint Attack or Mud Slap. Which one is it? Or Hidden Power Flying. That works too. Goes off for physical attack stats. So that's why I think I'm doing it, because I think it's going to be more effective than Feint Attack. And we're going to go Hidden Power. He does nothing to us. Very good. And really, he can't do anything to us because none of his moves will hit us except for Dream Eater. The only thing he can do is curse and then, put us to sleep and use Dream Eater. But we beat Morty pretty easy. And then we move on to what I thought was going to be the problem gym. We are normal type. We are weak to fighting type Pokemon. However, now I'm going to pause it and have you look at this real quick. So now, Hidden Power Flying against a fighting type Pokemon is 157. That has not changed. Okay, we can make it a little bit more powerful by adding the Sharp Beak, but it's still not as powerful as Return. Return with the Pink Bow, with all the other things added to it, is 189 effective power We should have just stuck with this, not even worried about hidden power. But we do, and it takes up a move slot, and it takes some time getting it. And that's something we're going to rectify in the optimized playthrough. So right now I'm telling you there's ways that we're going to save multiple minutes just by not having to deal with it. Not have to run all the way to, eventually we have to go to Lake Rage. But now we don't have to go to Lake Rage to get a move and then backtrack to face Chucky Boy. We don't have to do that. We can just straight up go there, get the rare candy, whatever, and we can get that later. But we don't have to, we can just move faster through the earlier part of the game. So now we're going to go ahead and take on this trainer, and then once this trainer's done, we will go ahead and take on Chucky Boy. Now, like I said, hidden power, it's not as powerful as return. So there's really no benefit. Even though return isn't stab, there's really no benefit to going one over hidden power over return. Return's just more powerful, and hidden power flying is not useful at all. If we had something that resisted it and hidden power outdid that, that'd be something, but it doesn't. We're going to go ahead and knock out the Primeape in one hit, and it's Poliwrath a one-shot. It is a one-shot. It was a critical hit. Don't know if that mattered. I don't think it mattered. But we get the win no matter what, and we move right on to the next trainer, which is going to be Jasmine. Jasmine is the Steel Specialist, and she leads out with a Magnemite. We added Fire Punch just for this battle. Not a great move for this Pokemon because we don't have great special tech, but it's good enough. We're going to one-shot both the Magnemites, and then Steelix will come out, and Steelix is going to go for Iron Tail. Doesn't really do much to us. We don't do enough that it gets in the healing loop. Get a very easy win over Jasmine. And we're going to progress right on to Lake of Rage, where we're going to take on the red hulked out Gyarados. There's another graphic. Hope you like it. And Gyarados. We don't have a great move for Gyarados. Just going to go for Return. Return's going to be a one-shot. Very good. And we're going to move right on and talk to this guy with the cape. And we're going to move right on to the price. We skipped over the Rocket plot line. I hope you guys understand that I don't like to show that. And no one who does Generation 2 content likes showing that. Price is the Ice Specialist. Returns a one-shot on the Seal. Gong Gong is pretty bulky. Is it a one-shot as well? It is a one-shot. Very good. So Piloswine's a little bulky as well. Is it a one-shot with Piloswine? It is a one-shot. So we clean sweep Price. And we get a 3 hits, 3 up, 3 down. And we're going to take on our next rival. This is part of our rival Claire rival sandwich. Our rival's going to come out. And he leads out with, I believe he leads out with a Golbat in this battle. Yeah, Golbat. So Return's going to one-shot the Golbat. Very good. And then Magnemite comes out. We hung on to Mudslap just to take care of the Magnemite, knock him out. Very good. Haunter's going to come out. Mudslap is a 2-shot on the Haunter. Very good. We have 2 Pokemon left. Sneasel should go down to 1 move. Maybe Fire Punch or Hidden Power. That doesn't do it. We should have gone for Return. Oh well. And we get the knockout. And the last Pokemon's Meganium. How effective is this move? Return. We get the knockout. 1-hit knockout on the Meganium. Very bulky Pokemon. Surprised that was a one-shot, but we'll take it. And we'll move right on to Claire. Now, this is where you take a risk with Claire, because we could add Ice Punch and make this battle super easy, but I don't want to take up moves, and I wanted to hang on to Hidden Power, so maybe Hidden Power will have Ice Punch instead and make this battle even better, but Return's doing the job. Return's one-shotting all 3 of the Dragonair, and is it going to one-shot the Kingdra? I doubt it, but we do. We actually one-shot the Kingdra, so clean sweep on Claire, the Dragon Master, and we're going to leave here, and we're actually supposed to go to a cave, which we're not going to show, but we're going to go right into our final rival battle of the game, right before the Elite Four, and he's going to lead out with a Sneasel Pleasel. Now, we have added Earthquake over Mudslap, so now we have a very, very good move to handle a couple problems that we have. One is, like Pokemon like Magneton, we have a very good move for Magneton. We have a very good move for Electric Pokemon, I should say. We also have a very good move for Ghost types. We can't hit Ghost types with Return, so we have to use something, and now we're going to use Earthquake. So Earthquake ends up being our bread and butter for a lot of problems that we have with this Pokemon. We are not going to learn Snore. We're just going to ignore that. And now we have Kadabra come out to 1-shot, and we have 1 Pokemon left, and that Pokemon is Meganium. Is it a one-shot? It is a one-shot. So we get a clean sweep, beat our rival, and head right on to the Elite Four. Now that we're at the Pokemon League, we're about to go in and take on the Elite Four, but first look at our stats and our moves. Moves first. Moves are as follows: Return, Earthquake, Hidden Power Flying, and Fire Punch. We don't need Hidden Power Flying. We've already established that. So we could go with a little bit more versatility in the optimized playthrough. Probably go with like Thunder Punch. And then when we beat Kogo, we don't need Fire Punch anymore. We can add Ice Punch or something like that. That's probably one route we'll go. There could be a couple other options as well, but we definitely don't need Hidden Power Flying for the Elite Four. And we look at the stats, and I gotta do this quick because I know it flashes. Okay, there we go. These are our stats before we go into battle. So this is not applying the badges. Attack is 168, defense is 114, special attack is 116, special defense 116, and speed is 97. In the bottom left corner, you're going to see all of our stats with the modified badges. Attack is 189, defense 128, special attack is 130, special defense 116, and speed is 109. That's all of our stats. Let's go ahead and take on the first member Elite Four, and that will be Will. He is a Psychic Specialist. Hope you like the graphic. And he's going to lead out with a Xatu. Johto is going to come out, and I think Return is going to be enough to knock out the Johto in one hit. That's what we hope for at least. Return on the Johto, very good. Knockout. And we have Jinx come out, and hopefully we have the same exact result with Jinx, very good. So far so good. Executor, is Executor a one-shot? That is a big question there. And it is a one-shot. We probably could have stuck with Return. It's not resisted to us or anything, so I don't know why we hit one with Hidden Power Fly. And like I said, we could have just stuck with Return on this one too. Probably would have been a one-shot. And then Johto is the last Pokemon. Is it a one-shot? It is a one-shot. So we sweep through Will without taking any damage. That's good. And now we're going to move right on to our next challenge, which is going to be Koga. Koga is the poison specialist of the Elite Four, and he leads out with an Ariados. Ariados will go down to 1 return. Very good. Venomoth will go down to 1 return as well. Very good. Now, Fortress, this is why we kept Fire Punch. Fortress will go down to Fire Punch in 1 shot. Very good. So far, taking no damage. Earthquake, is it a 1-shot on the Muck? It is. And the real question is, do we 1-shot the Crobat? It will outspeed us. So probably going to go for a double team or something like that. I don't know why I went for Hidden Power right here. I do not know why I did that. But return a 1-shot the Crobat, that's something we learned for the next time. Next time, just go straight for the knockout. Don't even worry about, trying to avoid getting in a healing loop or something. Now, here's where the real problem comes in, is we have to deal with Bruno. We don't talk about Bruno very much, but in this battle, he's actually pretty solid because his Pokemon have an advantage over us. Hitmontop's a 1-shot. Hitmonlee's a 1-shot. I think all of them will be a 1-shot except for 1 Pokemon. Mach Punch, it is a priority move, so it does hit us. Doesn't do that much damage, but, still does a little bit of damage. And we made a mistake here. I don't know why I went for Earthquake. I don't know why I switched moves. I thought he was going for Onyx. I think that's why I switched it. I think I looked away for a second. I was watching YouTube, something about like Mythbusters or something. I looked away for 1 second. I thought he was going to go for Onyx next because in the right side of the screen, it's the order in which they're on there. So I thought he was going for Onyx. But if I had stuck with Return, I think we would have knocked it out. So now we're going to try this again. Return. Is it a knockout? It is a knockout. And then Onyx comes out. And like I said, we're probably going to have we're not going to have Hidden Power. We're going to have Ice Punch, so this will be an even better knockout. But Earthquake gets the job done. And we move right on to face Karen. So we got 1 reset to this point because I hit Earthquake on accident on the wrong Pokemon. It is what it is. But now Umbreon comes out. And Umbreon, it's pretty bulky, but we 1-shot Umbreon. So a lot of the problems we have in this battle spawn from Umbreon, whether it's lowering our accuracy or confusing us. We don't have to deal with any of those things. So we 1-shot the Vileplume, very good. Gengar comes out, Earthquake will 1-shot the Gengar. And then Houndoom will come out. Is it Oh, it's Murkrow. Okay, so Return will knock out the Murkrow, very good. And then Earthquake will knock out the Houndoom. Houndoom's a knockout, extremely good. With that being said, we beat Karen on our first try. We have 1 member of the Elite Four left, and that member of the Elite Four, we had Ice Punch to take care of this member, so this should be super easy, barely an inconvenience. We face Danhausen, and Gyarados comes out. Return is a 1-shot on the Gyarados, very good. And from here on out, we pretty much have to spam Ice Punch except for against 1 Pokemon, that's Charizard. Ice Punch on the Dragonite, Ice Punch on the second Dragonite, very good. And we have 3 Pokemon left, which are going to go with Aerodactyl here. Aerodactyl actually does a decent amount of damage to us, but Hyper Beam, luckily it has to take a turn to recharge, so we knock it out with a second Ice Beam, Ice Punch, very good. And now Charizard comes out. We're going to switch to Return on the Charizard. That's a 1-shot, very good. And at least 1 Pokemon left, and that Pokemon is Dragonite. Dragonite will get 1-shot by Ice Punch, very good. So that being said, we've beaten the Elite Four. Let's get our time locked in at 59 minutes and how many seconds? 59 minutes and 5 seconds. That's a very good time for the Elite Four. And you saw the same playthrough I saw. You saw opportunities where we can avoid stuff, we can skip over some stuff to avoid some time. If we wouldn't have lost to Bruno on that stupid, me hitting the wrong button, we would be under 59 minutes, easily, maybe even under 58 minutes at this point. So, I don't know. There's a lot of room for improvement for this Pokemon, and it's only going to get better because we have the second part of this playthrough, which is Kanto. So I'll see you guys in Kanto. Now the Elite Four is in our rearview mirror. We're in Kanto, and we're going to take on the gym leaders in Kanto. They're really not that special. And I should have adjusted the picture here on the left with Ursaring. It keeps having its face blocked all the time by the item that we're holding, but it is what it is. We're going to 1-shot pretty much every Pokemon in every gym, so we're not going to talk too much about them. We'll talk a little bit more about the channel. So, a couple things about this channel. In the blue challenge, we are on the Psychic types, and I just looked over what we have left to do in the Psychic types. I have a couple Pokemon left. But then we have the water, and we also have the normal type. With the water type, there's only 7 Pokemon that we have to do in the water. I thought it was going to be more than that. But we have a lot of Pokemon that participated in the Ice Challenge. We had a couple Pokemon, 1 Pokemon participated in the Poison Challenge, and obviously we have 2 Pokemon participating in the Psychic Challenge. So we only have 7 water Pokemon that have to partake. Technically it's only 6, but I want to see how Poliwhirl does. Because there's sometimes some people think Poliwhirl is better than Poliwrath. Because Poliwrath evolves, and he actually loses some stats, and he adds a typing. That's not really that great in Generation 1. So I'm going to see how Poliwhirl does without evolving into Poliwrath, because it does get access to Amnesia. I think that will give it a huge advantage over Poliwrath. So we're going to see. We're going to see how that works out. That gives us 7 Pokemon in the Water type challenge. And look at the normals, and there's 2 normal type Pokemon we're not going to play. We are not going to play Ditto. I've already done Ditto twice on this channel, and I'm not doing it again, at least not in Generation 1. And then the other Pokemon is Eevee. Eevee is easily not the best normal type. It's easily going to be the worst normal type. It doesn't. We play with the evolved versions of Pokemon. In Eevee, it evolves into 3 different other Pokemon. So we're just not going to do Eevee. So that leaves us with 10 normal type Pokemon. That leaves us with 7 water types. And then we have, 5 more types to do after the playthrough this Friday in the Psychic types. That's pretty good. So we're chugging right along. We're almost done with all of Generation 1. We may do Yellow. I have not decided if I want to do Yellow. I'll take your input if you want me to play through Yellow. I didn't play through Yellow that much as a kid. I played through Pokemon Blue. That's why I do Pokemon Blue on my channel. But let me know what you think. I mean, obviously, I would like to learn another game. I know a lot about Pokemon Yellow. I've watched a lot of Scott's thoughts. So he's done Pokemon Yellow. He basically has retired the game. But I don't want to retire Generation 1. I love Generation 1. It's what started me into it. I'm really enjoying Generation 2. I'm really excited about Generation 3. My initial plan is whenever I'm done Gen 1, the only thing we do with Gen 1 is maybe a what-if scenario. Or maybe like a challenge where we have to build a team out of all the Pokemon we can get before the first gym, and what's the best team possible, and how do we do it, etc., etc. So that's all I want to do in Generation 1 once we finish up this challenge. Maybe a what-if scenario. What if this Pokemon gets this move? What if that Pokemon gets this move? Etc., etc. Maybe some backports if I learn how to do that. Maybe bring some Pokemon back from Generation 2 back to Generation 1. That'd be fun as well. But really, Generation 1, I'm about to retire unless I decide to do Pokemon Yellow. And then when I look at Generation 3, I want to dive into Emerald. I've done a lot of Gen 1, so if you do Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green, it's pretty much the same game. It's a better game. It's a better game, but it's pretty much a lot of the same stuff. So what I want to do is finish up Gen 2 and then maybe work my way into Generation 3 Fire Red or Leaf Green. I haven't decided which one I want to do, but that's what I have planned on this channel, and I'm excited about all of those things. This is a channel that's going to have a lot of content on it. It's going to have a lot of possibilities, especially as we get into later generations where we have chances like Egg Moves. We have optimized playthroughs. But now, let's dive back into this playthrough and watch our battle against Blue. Blue comes out, and we actually have a very good lineup against Blue. Comes out with a Pidgeot, and we're going for a turn on the Pidgeot. It's a one-shot, very good. Alakazam comes out next. Return should be a one-shot on him as well. We added the leftovers rather than having the Pink Bow. And we're going to go for Ice Punch on the Rhydon. No, it's not a one-shot. That surprised me, but okay. Well, we get the 2-shot on the Rhydon. Very good. Now, Sandstorm's up, but we're going to replenish all the health every time with leftovers, so it's not too big of a deal right now. If we didn't have it on when we had, like, the Pink Bow, maybe it would be a problem, but we get 2-hit on the Gyarados, and leaves 2 Pokemon left. First Pokemon is going to be Executor. Ice Punch on the Executor is not a one-shot. We should have just gone for Return. It's slightly more powerful and goes off our higher attacking stat. That's what we should have done, but I digress. It is what it is. And now we're going to go ahead and go for Full Restore again. That's awesome. And now we're going to go for one more Ice Punch. Just don't put us to sleep. That's all I don't want. Okay, you can't put us to sleep anyway. It doesn't have a sleeping move. Very good. And then Arcanine comes out. Arcanine is going to go down to, is it 1 Earthquake or 2? 1 Earthquake. Very good. So we get a first try victory over Blue. So we have 1 reset. We're an hour and 16 minutes heading into Mount Silver, and now we're going to take on Red. Red's going to come out, and he has Pikachu. Now, Pikachu outspeeds us, so what we don't want to happen is that. We don't want Charm. We also don't want Thunder to happen either. So we try this without getting the getting the Quick Claw. We try this without doing anything else. But eventually, we're just going to realize that we're going to get outsped by a lot of these Pokemon anyway, so we might as well lean into that. So we're going to try this again. Pikachu comes out. Thunder paralyzes us. That's an automatic reset. There we go. So there's 2 resets right away. Now, you see what we got here at about an hour and 17 minutes. There is a possibility for a sub 1 hour and 20 minute run very easily with this Pokemon. Okay, so that's definitely in the cards. That's definitely a possibility. What really is frustrating, though, is that we don't outspeed, and some of these things are just left too much to chance. Now, right here, we can get rid of Hidden Power, and we could have done Dynamic Punch. Would have been probably been a one-shot with our high attacking stat. But it looks like it's going to be a 3-shot anyway. So we're going to knock out the Snorlax, and that leaves 3 Pokemon left. The 3 starters from Generation 1, Venusaur, Charizard, and Blastoise. And we're going to get a 2-shot on the Venusaur. Takes in Sunlight, doesn't do anything to us. That's not a big deal. Charizard does outspeed, but he's not going to have a super effective move against us. But we do get burned, so now we can't knock it out. And so I just take a reset here. We're going to get knocked out anyway. I take a reset. So we skip ahead to reset number up to 7. We have 7 resets at this point. So now we're going to go ahead and take on Pikachu again. You knock out the Pikachu in one shot. That's never been a problem. The problem is just going first. So return's going to be a one-shot on the Espeon. Even though it went for Reflect, it's still a one-shot. Return on the Snorlax, it's not going to be a one-shot. It's not even close to it because Reflect is still up. Body Slam paralyzes us. So we take one more reset, and I've actually changed up the moveset. That Return, Earthquake, Rest, and Curse. Probably could have got rid of Earthquake, to be honest, and done something else, but it is what it is. So now we're going for Curse. If you don't know what Curse does, it lowers your speed, but it ups your attack and defense by 1 stage. And even though Pikachu is going for like Charm, and then we get paralyzed. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go for Rest. Now what you can also do here strategically is take the mint berry. That way you wake up right away. But we do like having leftovers. I do like getting health replenished every time, every turn. That's going to be nice, especially when we're about to be outsped by everything. And then we're going to knock out Pikachu in one go. And everything here from this point on should be a one-shot. Even with Reflect up, it should still be a one-shot on most Pokemon. Snorlax is pretty bulky, so it might not be a one-shot on the Snorlax, even with Return or Reflect up. And it is a 2-shot. And we're going to get hit by a couple things, but Snorlax just goes for Rest, not a big deal. Return, it's not a one-shot. Okay, I think we might have gotten through a lot of the Reflect though, so I think we're past that point where Reflect's an issue. Very good. Return on the Venusaur, is it a one-shot? It is. And that leaves Charizard out next. Charizard's going to be one-shot as well. We do tank a Flamethrower, one-shot on the Charizard, very good. Now we're not going to go first against the Blastoise. Can we tank one move from Blastoise? We can. Surf. Do we one-shot with Return? We one-shot with Return. So we get a time locked in, 1 hour, 23 minutes, and 23 seconds with Red. That is a pretty good time for a first-time playthrough. The optimized playthrough is really going to improve on this Pokemon. Let's go and look at the tier list and see where this Pokemon lands. So, with this Pokemon getting a time of 1 hour, 23 minutes, and 23 seconds, it lands himself right here in the B tier. The last Pokemon in the B tier, right behind Politoed. That lands this Pokemon on its first playthrough. It lands at number 11. Do I think this Pokemon can get up here in the realms of being around Girafarig? I think it can. I think it's easily going to be a top 5 Pokemon when it's all said and done. It might even be the top Pokemon when it's all said and done. There's a lot of things we talked about during the playthrough that can be done that I think will make this Pokemon better. And we're going to implement that next Wednesday. So tune in for that. A couple things coming out. I already talked about this Pokemon. Actually, I didn't talk about this. We have Alakazam is our Pokemon that we're going to have playthrough on Friday. That is the second Pokemon in the Psychic type challenge. It's a very good Pokemon and a lot of good things with it. Still some confusing things with it. I don't understand why this Pokemon gets Dig, but like other Pokemon that are actually ground type don't get Dig. Like Nidoking and Nidoqueen don't get Dig. But somehow, I mean, this Pokemon has spoons, so maybe that's the reason why. But this Pokemon gets access to Dig, but somehow those Pokemon do not. It does not make any sense to me. It really kind of frustrates me, but it is what it is. Generation 1 has some quirks. I always call it a glorious masterpiece of imperfection, is what Generation 1 is. And then the other video we have coming up, like I said, is next week we're doing a solo run optimized of Ursaring. We're actually going to start out as Ursaring, and we do have some things going for us with this Pokemon. We have some egg moves that are going to be very nice. We'll go over that in the playthrough next Wednesday. But without further ado, that is my video. So I want to thank everyone for watching. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you comment. Let me know what you think. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. Have a good one. I'll see you guys next time.